which character are we looking at today?
So originally I was going to start on the Ash, and then I was in the voice chat. One of my teammates said that they had a Widow, so I was considering switching on to the Widow, but I thought I'd stick out the Ash, see how we go, and then I also heard their Ash shooting at our front door, so I just quickly jumped back into spawn and switched to Widow straight away because we didn't have the Mercy. I thought I'm probably going to be better off going on the Widow to take a duel
Okay.
against.
Is this new patch?
Yes, yeah, this was today.
Okay. So do we switch to Widow here?
Right at the start, like I just right here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So is there? Okay. So we're gonna go over Widowmaker today, and we went over Widow a couple times already.
Yeah, a couple of times.
So do you have any specific goals for today, or anything you want to make sure we go over by the end?
Yes. So I think my positioning could be more like I could be taking wider angles, but I need to know what to look for, as in like with timing. So when should I be looking to take those wider angles to get more value earlier in the team fight? I'm sure you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want to go over?
I wanted to go over, like target priority in this situation. Do I want to be shutting down the Ash or the Widow? I like first, or should it just be sort of a target based on opportunity? Like if I can shoot the Widow, shoot the Widow. If I can shoot the Ash, shoot the Ash. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Let's address the second point first because there's something to say about that. Actually, let's watch the first fight first. Okay. Is there any reason why you chose this one in particular?
Yes, because I felt as though I was playing okay. I also felt like it just didn't. It highlighted what I meant by me not being able to find that value quick enough to justify this hero choice.
Okay.
And it was also, it's a shorter VOD. It's only like 11 minutes. But we lost as well. I felt like I was doing quite well. I was just sort of struggling to win fights consistently.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna talk about a little bit about that. We're gonna actually leave target priority off to the side and wider angles for a bit if that's okay, and we're gonna go over this fight.
Yeah.
So this fight...
I can already kind of tell what you're gonna say. I should have probably dropped to find a health pack or find healing quicker after I took damage from the Widowmaker.
Okay.
Find a health pack, back up, get into a more safe position. But I had in my mind that their Widow was going to be like have sightlines onto the mega health pack.
Okay.
Below me, so I didn't want to drop there. I thought I might be able to just wait there and then peek again if she went to try and kill my team, but it just didn't play out. Yeah, I was trying to play mind games basically.
Okay, so I have a question. Does Mums ever play Pharah at all?
Yeah, we do. This is just competitive.
So yeah, I'm just gonna ask you a question. So when you play Pharah v Pharah, right? Who deals with the other Pharah on the other team?
Oh, your hit scan.
Your hit scan? Really? Okay. So a lot of the times I would say it's your Pharah, but we can talk about this a little bit. But this applies to Widow in the sense that like you both are the best characters to deal with each other. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So that means the more shots that you get into the enemy team, is the Widow that wins out, right? That's why killing the other Widow is good, right? Because then she's not there. Because then you have free reign onto her team. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
But when we're dueling the Widow this long, if you notice, from your position, you can't actually see a lot of what's going on into team fight. But from where she is, she has the option to look into your team. I know she doesn't do it, but she has the option to. And you would have to walk all the way back, and you don't know where she is until she fires her first shot, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna actually look at this a little bit.
I'm trying to use the information that I have based on who she's shooting at to pick my positions off. So I hear a shot from the top left, and originally I thought she was up on that banister railing. That's why I hooked up to take that sight line onto the banister railing there, above the point.
Oh, you thought she was here?
No, back above the point.
Oh, you thought she was
Yeah,
here.
yeah, at the top left. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I heard a shot and I saw the trace around, so I thought, okay,
Okay,
I need to take a
that's...
sight line onto that and threaten that. But then she wasn't there, and I didn't know where she was until she fired a second shot, and I realized she was above the mega room.
Okay. That is actually okay. Okay, I think that's fine. And I think when you get up here, it's a pretty good rotate, right? But I think here is where we need to really look at, right? And because, like, what I talked about earlier, right? If she stays up here and looks at your team, right? Like, fires, like, maybe 2 shots and then looks at you, right? That's gonna be value for her, yes? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, even if she's just hitting body shots, she's getting more value than me.
Yes, at the current moment, right? So, like you can see, like, she does it there, right? But we haven't actually fired any other shots into the enemy team other than in the beginning, you know, when it was pretty neutral, right?
Yeah.
So, like, even if we do get the kill here, right? I think we already lost the fight to an extent.
Yeah,
Actually, it's pretty close. It's actually pretty close. I lied. But, like, you see, like, if this kept on going on, she would have actually been in the better position because she can see it, right? She can see main. So you either have 2 options here. Option 1 is to force duel, right? Is to force the duel, which is basically to make sure that she stays focused on you so that you are basically just trading back and forward with her, right?
Yeah.
And
Which
number
is
2,
typically that's my first. That's my go-to. That's what I
okay.
normally do because I am quite confident on the Widow.
Yep. And the
That I
second
can
one
take
is
duels.
to make chase. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
I was just saying, like, I'm quite confident that at this rank, I'm confident that I can beat the Widow 1v1. I can win the duel more often than not. So
Okay.
my first point of call is to be cocky as shit and force the Widow duel.
Okay. So what's really interesting is that this concept here actually works against people that are significantly better than you. And the reason why is because when I say force the duel, I don't actually mean like win the duel.
You
It
just
means
mean like
take the
force
duel.
them, force them to pay attention to you because you might hit a
Yeah.
lucky shot, right? Yeah.
Because let's say you're playing into a guy that's like 4700, right? And
Yeah.
he can hit headshots for days, right?
I think their Widow was a Smurf. He was
Okay.
quite a low ranked account, which is another reason why I think this one's a good one to look at
Mm.
because I think their Widow is pretty good. Like, I haven't seen
Okay.
a flat Widow.
So I'm gonna set up a scenario for you here, right?
Okay.
So like let's say, right, their widow's really good. And they're where you thought she was on top of the little rooftop there, right? On top of the point, right?
Yeah.
And you just went like this, you like jiggle peeked out, right? Maybe you scoped, you took a fast shot, you went back in, right? The longer you take this duel while your team is actually fighting, the better it is for your team. Do you know why that is?
Yeah, because their Widow has to constantly make sure that I'm still there. Because as the moment I move and rotate, I can get a cheeky shot from an angle that she's not anticipating. So in order for her to find value in the fight, she has to win that duel. She has to beat me.
She has to
Or
look at you, right?
yeah.
Which means you're taking away her attention, right? And even if your aim's not as good, right? You're gonna be taking her attention away. But I've seen your aim, and your aim's pretty good. So guess what? There's a chance that you actually win that duel, right? Even though you're playing safe, and you actually can go for it, and you actually
Yeah.
can try and clean up the fight.
Yeah. It does happen. We end up taking first, and we move on to second, but we can't cap second.
Okay.
It just happens quite late, and I think a lot of what happens here is the team starts to get quite salty.
Okay.
But you know that's no issue. There's no reason why you can't win with a salty team.
Mm-hmm. Should actually just go to your first.
That's okay.
So we're looking here. What are we thinking in this moment, you think?
I'm concerned because I have no idea where the Widow is.
Okay.
I think she's top right. That's why I scoped there a little bit. I asked my team, hey, do you guys know where the Widow is? And I don't get any response, which is fine. So
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I was like, maybe she's top right, but then I saw the Anna shot from below there, and I was like, oh, she's bottom right, so I hook up to try and get a cheeky shot bottom right, but turns out she was top. So I just scoped at the wrong place.
Okay. So in this situation, let's try to apply what we did earlier. So what do you think we should have done instead?
I probably could have pre-fired, even though I thought she probably was there, so I probably could have fired at it to attract her attention, to let her know that I know where she is, and then just hard scope it, jiggle peek it, and force her to look at me and try and deal with me.
So we actually don't know where she is yet, right?
No, I
Because
have no idea.
let's look at the places you have looked, and the places you haven't looked from the beginning.
I heard a shot about. It was just a moment after I land. You see me look over to the right, and it's because I heard a shot over on the right.
Wait, she did shoot? I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Maybe I know you can't hear it because of the way Discord screen sharing works.
Yeah, no,
But
I can't hear
I
it.
might be able to hear it.
There's a point where she shoots.
She hasn't shot yet. Okay. Point is though, let's try to figure out what you have seen, right? So right now we're looking top left. She's not in the window. Okay, we hook up here. Make sure she's not on the little like ledge bit right in front of Mega, right? What else did we check?
I
We
checked
checked
that
main
corner
here.
there.
We checked the top left, right? She could be around the corner on the top left, but you know, we checked the top left. Okay, now we check the center. Now we check the center. Now we check the right. But we don't know if she's around the right. So at this point, right, the places we haven't actually checked, right?
There's the shot.
There's the shot. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the places we haven't actually checked. Where haven't we checked yet?
Very top left on top of the what is that? Above
On
where
top of
the
the
mega is.
pagoda?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't checked the stairs on the left-hand side of the objective because there's a peek through those gaps.
So through here?
Both of those
Okay.
windows, yeah.
You checked through here, right? Or did you not? I don't think you checked through there.
I did a brief look.
Okay. Let's
the
just
high
assume you
ground
checked
to the
through
right
it.
of the point, that bridge as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this one you're not gonna see.
Yeah.
You mean the other one more behind it?
Yeah. That
Okay.
window.
So we're at that window. So these are places she could still be, right? And when we hook shot up like this, right? And you said pre-fire, right? But I'm not sure how we're gonna get this pre-fire off when you expose yourself to every single angle that we haven't checked, right?
Yeah. Because at this point, I do remember thinking, I know she's there. I do remember thinking to myself, I don't know how I knew. I just had a feeling
Well, you can see the
that she
shot.
was there. Yeah, and so in my mind, I was like, okay, she has to be there. So I hard scope it, and then for some reason, I thought she was bottom right where their Anna is. Maybe I saw the little hitbox or something, and I thought that was the Widow. So I thought, okay, she's looking at my team. I'll hook up and try and get a cheeky shot onto the Anna. But in hindsight, I probably should have gone with my gut instinct and not hooked up, but stayed where I was and just shot at that corner, even though I knew I wouldn't have hit her, but just to sort of put a shot past her head to be so she knows, like, I'm looking at her.
Okay. So let's just assume you're gonna go for the Ana here, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And so you said we can hook shot up and kill the Ana. I agree that that is a play, but we're gonna try and look for the most optimal play here, right? We're going to we're gonna say you
Max
have a
press
do-over,
button.
right? Where are we gonna go?
A do-over.
What are we gonna do instead of hook shot up there?
Um, I could probably have rotated back around to take a shot down main through the window. I could have hooked over and taken a shot from here.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know about that one. I could also could have dropped down to where the mega is. But that puts me quite in a dangerous position. The mega behind where our Moira is in there, so you can hook down to the right and go around the back and into the mega room because of those curtains. It makes it quite hard for widows to see.
Okay.
Um, I think I think ideally I would have liked to have hooked into the window at the top left there instead of
So
hooking up into the right up the top.
so we got through a couple things there, right? I think we laid out essentially three things. Um, let's just name them option 1, 2, and 3, and we're gonna name the pros and cons, okay?
Okay.
We're gonna make it a little bit more organized. So this is option 1, right? Where you
Okay.
said peak main.
Yeah.
Option 2, you said drop down with your team and peek this way. And
Yeah.
then option 3, you said hook to the window and then peek that way,
Yeah.
right? All right. So what do we think our best options are? Or what do we think the pros and cons of each option are?
I
Or is there
think
anyone we don't immediately want to do because of certain reasons?
so. I'm a weird widowmaker,
Okay.
and in hindsight, I probably should have just gone with my team.
You
Um,
think you should have done option 2? I
two,
forgot to
yeah,
write the
yeah.
number.
Even though I know myself that option two is the dumbest option because it puts you right in front of the enemy Reinhardt. What I also think is good about that option is you don't, because I watched the kill cam. Their widow used the sound cue of my grappling hook. She heard me hook up to the window, up on top of the banister
Mm-hmm.
there, and that's how she knew I was there.
Okay.
So if I drop like that, it doesn't give away my position based on the sound cue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, because it's not a very smart option, I doubt that their widow would have thought of me doing that.
Okay. Okay. So what instead we're gonna do? We're gonna try out something a little bit different, maybe. So, I'm gonna give you a little bit of information here. I actually
Okay.
like option 3,
I like
but
option three as well.
I like option 3. I think it has one big downside. Can you tell me what that is?
Um, you use your grappling hook and it's not safe. It puts you in
Mm,
front of your team.
I wouldn't say it's not safe because it puts you in front of your team. Can you think of another reason why you don't think it'd be safe? Think about the places we looked at where we didn't scout. What angle does it leave it open to that we're not looking at?
Oh, well, I mean, pick your poison because you can only look at one side of the point at a time, and I didn't cover all of an entire side. I just
We didn't
covered.
actually look up here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it leaves you open to that.
So maybe we could have came around to this side, right? Not maybe. Let me back up a little bit. We could have came down the stairs, right? Because we can see our team's kind of just sitting in choke here.
Yeah,
But if we come down the stairs here and look that way, we can actually try to see on top of the thing, right? Okay, good.
yeah.
They're not on top of there. Okay. That means you can walk up the thing here, right? And then you can hook window and look for it, right?
Okay.
I know this is all with hindsight, But what I'm trying to get across is that we need to make sure that we clear the positions so that we then can go for aggressive play.
I see. So it's more about like individual scouting on my own level, trying
Yes.
to scout where their widow is going to be
Mm-hmm.
sitting.
Especially in ranked, right? Because we're not going to get that from our team.
Yeah. Okay. That's really good. That is really, really good. Because it's something that I used to do a shit ton because I played Rainbow Six Siege. Excuse my language there, sorry.
No, it's
But
okay. I don't
yeah,
mind.
I played a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, so checking corners and that sort of thing is quite big, and I think it's something that I haven't brought over as much as I should have into.
All right, so like Rainbow Six Siege, we're gonna lean past the corner, look on top the roof. All right, now we're gonna run back up,
Just
and
look,
then we're
make
going
sure it's
to
pixel though.
yeah, we're gonna run back up here, check the top left. All right, we're gonna check middle, right? All right, maybe we even peek a little bit, right? But we just gotta do
Yeah.
this safely so we don't get absolutely blasted, right? Then we can come up here and say, look, I cleared the left, I cleared the right, I cleared the top. They're probably either gonna be in main or they're gonna be all the way on the right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook window, or maybe not hook window, but we can try to actually do we hook top here. I think hooking top is okay as long as you don't look on the right side, because then all the places that we scouted are not actually are covered, and it's only where the Ana and the Widow is that are not covered, right? Where we didn't
Yeah.
actually get to see yet. But yeah. Okay. So this next one, how does this next fight go? Do you remember?
Is this the next fight, or is this just where I got destroyed?
This is the same one.
Yeah, okay. I think there was about a minute left, and we ended up capping, and I got a. So I'm just kind of chilling in spawn. I don't want to push out and get picked while my team's trying to regroup, so I just sort of hang back a bit, and then we end up pushing in. Now our sim makes a really weird play, but it's awesome. It works really well. She uses ult. Right there.
She didn't even look at you.
I know.
Overall, really good by you. Really good read that she hasn't moved yet, and you didn't hear grapple.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I get one more as well.
Okay.
So I can hear the Moira below me. I'm just trying to be a bit cheeky. I use ult here, but we've got 40 seconds left. My team's regrouping. I kind of need to get another pick to secure the cap if I die. I do die to the Widow, but that was me having so much adrenaline coursing through me that I looked at the Widow, I registered it, but my brain didn't. So
all right. So that was insane, right? But we're gonna talk about in the little like thing right here. You were saying that you felt like you needed to get a pick, yes?
yeah, I felt like I needed to get one more because if I was to die right here, I knew that getting 3 picks is not enough for my team to be able to respawn and come back because by the time my team respawns, they're already back. Like I died to the Widow that I killed. So in my mind, I had the right train of thought. I was like, I need to get one more pick. It needs to be one more, and then we can win the point. And we end up stalling it out and winning points.
So we're actually going to go through something called so the other team has to do something called pathing, right? I went through guys team pathing before, right? I went through mums with team pathing before, right? A whole bunch of times.
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
And what I want you to realize is that the other team, right, when they're walking back from spawn, they're doing their own pathing, right? You see the Widow going up main. And what we want to do at this point, right, because realistically, who in the like vicinity of the point is gonna kill you?
If I'm a dum-dum and I'm not looking, the Fire Strike could technically kill me, sure. If I've already taken some damage, it would have to be the Xayah, the Moira.
Can we say that, like, you know, generally speaking, you're not gonna die to these guys, right?
No, not really.
You're
That's
not
why I
gonna die
stood
to
up
these
here.
guys, right?
That's why I hooked up there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think if you timed the Widow coming back, you saw her with walls. She's not gonna come back for about 10 or so seconds, right?
Yeah.
And we kill the Moira. Nice, we get the Moira, right? But the next thing we need to worry about is doing something called stop pathing. I like to call it stop pathing. My friend likes to call it tower defense, right? But the general premise is we want to stop them from getting to where they from setting up because we're set up, right?
Yeah. I
Even
would
though our
kind of
team's
just
not
call it
here yet.
spawn camping. Like
Yes, to
spawn
an extent
camping
it is
without
spawn
spawn
camping,
camping.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think you can do it from here because of high ground. Do you know how high ground gives you cover?
Yeah. So you can walk backwards and crouch, and it hides your head.
There we go.
It does kind of suck on this point though, because you think you can't get shot if you're standing right at the back here. You have to drop down onto the, what do you call this side part of this building?
You could just call it the side of the roof. I know what you're calling it. The little slope of the roof.
Yeah, you have to stand right at the back and crouch, because if you're standing right at the back of this building, the Widow can still shoot you from where she is right now. And you
Okay.
can't see her, so yeah.
I actually did not know that. But
yeah, it's you can
now that
see,
we do
like,
know that, we can make another decision, right? If this is not safe in the next 10 seconds, right? After we walls, right? We see the Widow, she's gonna be back in about 10 seconds. After we kill this Moira, where can we go? Where do we think?
So I could have dropped off the back immediately, though. What I should have done is, did I have grappling hook available right here?
Let's go ahead and check.
Because if I have grappling hook here, I should have just dropped off the right.
Okay.
Where the Moira is, I should have just dropped down there and hooked away towards the back mega.
I can't click the buttons. You have it in 4, 3, 2,
So
1.
I should kill the Moira and then drop to the right.
You have it now. Drop to the right?
Yeah, and then hooked away, because that hides my LOS from their Widow. And then my team's starting to respawn, so their Zarya is distracted. She's not going to chase me.
So from the right here, do you think you could have seen the Widow without getting pressured by the Zarya?
No, but the idea is to run away and fight another day.
So remember when we talked about
down here and just back off, and then take a more favorable position for me.
So remember when we talked about stopping this Widow from getting back, right?
Yeah, it's really difficult.
So we want to get we're gonna try to figure out positions, right? That you can stop the Widow from coming back, as well as, you know, from this position, because you've just killed the Moira, right? Yeah. So where can we go?
I could have gone up to that railing, see where the peach tree is on the point. I could have gone up to there.
Right here?
That does leave me kind of exposed to the Zarya.
Okay.
But at least I'm within LOS of my Ana, or we don't have an Ana, Zen from main. So I could get healing if the Zarya does look at me. Because if I'm there, the Zen could see me from main, just throw a healing orb onto me.
I think you have the right idea. So I think you can actually stand here. And what here's gonna do, right on this edge, and you can still see the Widow coming back, but as soon as you take your shot, you can drop if you don't feel safe, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the initiative because you have walls up, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as you feel unsafe, you can drop, and then you can reposition for either the Widow or to try to get someone else from coming back, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, we want to put ourselves in a position, like you talked about, you wanted to work on position, to be able to stop this Widow from coming back, as well as still get the things we wanted to get done. Because realistically, headshotting the Zarya here is a little bit risky, because we know the Widow's back at this point.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a bit of damage in before their support start returning to the fight. So
it does end up working out, the headshot on the Zarya, which is good. But I think if
I should be alive fight though.
Yeah.
Because then their Widow wouldn't be getting the hits on the Moira. It's a very risky me being dead here.
If what you said this Moira is true, right? Like, let's say she is a Smurf, then like she has the possibility to do a lot in this fight, right?
Yeah,
And
she does.
she's not really gonna get contested.
They nearly win it out here, and I come back and I think I take the duel and win.
Wait, that's good. That's actually what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Now we just need to work on a little bit of the mechanics of how to take this fight, right?
I should be closer to the corner.
Closer to the corner? Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good start.
Looking at myself instantly, it doesn't like I just need to be closer to any corner realistically taking a duel like that.
Alright. That's actually a good observation.
Missing that shot upsets me.
Don't worry about it. She would have got fast fun anyway.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get shots onto the Ashe, trying to watch for the Widow peek. I do hold back on shooting the Ashe because I know that their Widow's gonna be using that information to try and kill me. This is really unlucky.
Oh no. We saw
I could have killed him as well. He just had bubble.
Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about... Okay, actually, you're gonna tell me. So, in this situation, right? I know she got bubble. Unlucky, right? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna think about what else we could have done in this scenario, right? And even after you jump, I'm actually gonna go to the exact scenario that I want you to tell me what you could have done.
Okay.
Because remember what I said. You don't need to win this duel. You need to force it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because my team's already on the.
Because your team's in, right? So all you need to do is live and get as much value in as possible that you can, right?
Okay.
So,
which is just stopping their Widow from getting value, basically.
So I want you to tell me what you could have done right now.
Keep strafing right.
Keep strafing right. Okay.
And just drop off.
And then where can we go?
Well, do I have hook? No, I
believe so. 5 seconds.
5 seconds. So I could have just kept strafing right and then not drop off the edge, but use the little wall there, that corner piece, to stop myself from dying and jiggle peek left to force the Widow to continue to look at me from there, where she is, and wait out the bubble.
Okay.
Because if I change my momentum to go left, it becomes very predictable, and that's how she headshot me. I actually do change my momentum to go left. Whereas at this point here, she can't shoot me, so I should have just kept going.
Okay. Another option that I would like to give you is that you could actually walk all the way main here and try to start shooting in here. And then eventually, guess what? They're going to say Widow main, or the other team, right? And their Widow's going to realize that you're main. But what's going to happen is you're going to fire a couple shots down main, then you're going to come up to a window and shoot her in the face, right?
Yeah.
Basically, we're pulling her attention, right? Because she wants to kill you, but we already know where she is. It doesn't matter. We're the one moving, right?
Yeah. This is like a 2-minute stall fight, basically, and we never even get a tick.
Yeah. But the point I want to get across here is that we can try, like, we want to stay alive in these duels, right?
Yeah, I need to be taking a shot and moving, repositioning.
Okay.
I think. And also jumping out of spawn like that. Dumb.
Nice.
Big dumb. I know the Anna's there. There's the Widow. Yeah. Kind of get rolled.
Okay. So, like, same thing, right? Your team's already in. It's a lot of the same stuff. It's okay. Same exact scenario.
Yeah, I eventually stopped going that up there, because I know that I'm just getting rolled going up there, but it takes me a while to realize it. This is kind of
nice.
Little whiff battle. I hook across and start reloading in front of the edge. I try and move with the healing orb a little bit there.
Nice.
I'm going unders, but I can get it again.
Okay, so generally speaking, what you're doing here is okay up until I can tell you when. Up until now. Because the other team is coming back. So you either need to kill this Ashe and move on, or kind of just try your best to to see if you can get something done this fight, right?
Yeah.
And if it is killing the Ashe as fast as possible, then it's killing the Ashe as fast as possible, right? But if you
I
see
could
her
have
run
done it.
away,
I was just panicking with that dynamite on you. You
okay,
know, you
okay,
just got the panic thing.
yes, yes, yes.
So
Well, we can actually see. I think your Moira comes and throws an orb at you
she throws
eventually.
an orb at me, somehow heals me. Like, does that orb, was it an accident? What? So it just randomly RNG'd over to me. How does it get to me?
Where are you
It
now?
was earlier
Oh,
than
that
that.
was earlier. She just threw it to you. Okay. But the point is, like, that's okay if your team's already like it's even in the fight. But because you're not even in the fight, you're actually down one. Wait, are you down one? No,
No, we're
you're up one.
one. Their widow died.
Let me think about that a little bit. I actually think you're fine then. I actually think this is fine. I would actually only say that you should start posing towards the point to see that if you can get help from your team without your team coming out to help you.
Yeah.
Because
how does that orb get to me? I'm sorry.
she come out and threw it, I think. She just used
Yeah.
fade. I heard no, she didn't. Did she just walk? I don't know, we can look at it. Oh,
It was an accident. It bounced off the...
epic. Anyway, but like my point is, as we're taking this duel, right? You want to try to start posing towards the fight, right? Because
Yeah.
as soon as this Ashe, like, as soon as we realize, wait, we're on this Ashe for way too long, whether or not we get the kill or not doesn't matter, right? We need to contribute to this fight.
Yeah, so I should have started moving towards the left more than going forwards.
Yeah, there we go.
So I could take a peek from that, where the orb came from.
Because we already lost this fight.
Now they use Cole and skill orb, so... I get out.
Epic. Oh no.
I just leave.
Oh no, your Moira is gone.
I felt so bad. I'm just holding this angle waiting for if their Widow decides to be a bit cheeky, try and take an aggressive pick, and I'm just waiting for my team to respawn, and I'm watching them through the wall to see what they're doing, so I can time this. And now I distinctly remember thinking, I need to help my Tracer. She's taking a duel with her, yeah.
I don't think that's your job.
Yeah, I just saw our Tracer use Pulse Bomb and I thought maybe the Ashe should be low and I could try and take the fight. I get rolled here.
Okay. So, you're saying you need to help this Tracer, right?
Yeah, well, she threw Pulse Bomb and I was like, okay, let's try and get some... I'll help her at least try and get a pick out of Pulse Bomb. So if I can come in and put extra pressure damage onto their Ashe, we might be able to finish the kill.
So I actually think this position is okay. But I think the thing that you're missing a little bit is that we don't actually... The fact that your Tracer dies here is not on you. You can't stop your Tracer from dying here.
No.
Right? And this, like... This angle for you is a little bit risky because of where the Widow and the Ashe are right now, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think this angle is okay if you said you were planning to come here and try to look inwards to the point. And then on the way you can help your Tracer get the pick, right?
Yeah, I was planning to go up main there in front of the objective and stand on that high ground main to try and kill Liana. That's what I was planning on doing, but then I saw our Tracer and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try and jump in and try and help her. But
oh, okay. So next time you actually have the super great idea, right? Come up here, right? Use this corner as protection from the Ana if she starts looking at you. Use this drop as protection from the Widowmaker as they turn the corner here, possibly, right? And then you also have this drop for full safety if you need like a small reset.
Yeah.
But the point is, we don't want to help people with their job when we actually haven't done and compromise our job, right?
Yeah. Their attack is really unfortunate.
Okay. Okay.
So this is where my team started to get salty, and now that you've explained a few different things to me, I can see why my team got salty, because I like you said, I didn't do my job properly to try and help my Tracer do her job. So I think if I had been more focused on trying to deal with their Widow and take that duel.
Okay. So on defense here, we're gonna look at things. Is there anything you want to look in specific on the defense?
Yeah. This fight is over. They take it pretty much in a single fight. So I kind of pop off, but we still lose anyway. But I pop off too late.
Okay.
I'm just trying.
I'm gonna let the fight play out first.
Yeah.
Nice pick. Okay. How do you feel about this fight? Well, other than... Is there anything else you feel about this fight other than what you said earlier? About that it was really unfortunate and you felt like you did stuff too late?
There is a point in time right here where I should have just run away. Or after the Xayah falls, after our Xayah dies, I should have just given up and gone back
Really?
to... Yeah, I think...
Why?
That's what I think.
Why should you have given up?
Because I killed 4 people and we didn't take. We didn't win.
Why does that mean you should give up?
I could have stayed alive and kept the passive ult charge coming through. For a second.
But you killed 4!
Yeah, and we lose the point still.
I'm gonna go over through you what you could have done, but I'm gonna address this first.
Okay.
I don't think that you did the wrong thing here after they came in. I think you tried your best. Because you killed 2, right? You killed, I believe, Anna and Widow, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And at this point, they have 4 on point. We have Moira here. We also have... And we don't have much health. Everyone else is dead, right?
Yeah.
So normally in this situation, we're not playing for time. Unless someone says to, right? Someone's ready to go in. But what we need to do is something called forcing value, which is what you did. So you did perfectly fine here. Because if you absolutely pop off more than you did, and you kill like 6, you win the fight, right?
Yeah.
And if you lose, you feed 200 HP, and, you know, you get a 3-second spawn timer. Is that a lot for the enemy team?
Not a huge amount, no.
Because look. Assuming your team's not stupid, right? And they actually, like, started walking in. Like, the Lucio started coming back, and the Moira, like, actually stayed in with you, right? There was actually a possibility for you to win this fight.
Yeah, if I had a Hailing Orb thrown my way and
yeah,
beamed by the Xayah, yeah.
So you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think this was the wrong play. I think you did everything that you could. After they came in. But we're gonna talk a little bit about before they come in. So, we're gonna talk about why I think Widow is one of the best heroes to climb with if you have good aim. And it's not just because click head for head, but it's more so about, I like to call it stop pathing, like we talked earlier on the Widowmaker, right? Except it's a little bit more applicable on the defense, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
When this Ryan walks in, right? That's when they're, well, pen. When they walk in, that's when they're most vulnerable, right? Because
Yes.
their Ryan has to hold shield, right? If anyone dies, they're stuck out in the open, right? So it's the point in the fight where they are the most vulnerable because they're actually trying to move from place to place, right? Whichever way that they do move. And also, it's the most punishing because if anyone dies, they have to either commit or die because they can't get out, right?
Okay.
So what we want to do is we want to try to capitalize on that as much as possible. Now, I know they have another Widowmaker, right? Which is your job to do. And I think you did a pretty good job about that. But we also have to remember our job to the main fight here, right? Which is to stop pathing. And you see how they're already in, but they haven't taken
Yeah.
any pressure, and they actually haven't used too many cooldowns.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
used a
I
bit of
see.
cooldowns. Did they use both bubbles? I think I saw
There's
both bubbles.
actually an enormous window of opportunity where there Ryan's walking in and he's not even shielding. I could have just clicked something, but
Yeah, there we go, right?
I was so concerned about the widow that I wasn't even looking at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
wasn't even looking at the team.
So now we're going to bring it all together to what you wanted to do and talk about positioning and target priority, right?
Yeah.
So, target priority, relatively simple looking into this. Who are we looking at?
Their widow is
Okay.
a big threat to not only me but my team.
Hmm. So she's a threat. Okay. What else?
Yeah. Their Genji should have difficulty against my Zaya and Hog, but I need to be aware of him because he's a threat to me. So
Okay.
I don't have to necessarily shut him down so much for my team's sake, but I need
Okay.
to be aware of where he is so that I can kind of outmaneuver him and stay away from him as much as I can to get
Okay.
more value elsewhere.
All right. Who's next?
Their Anna can definitely threaten me and deal huge amounts of healing to her Reinhardt, and that would probably allow them to win the fight because their Ryan can just stay alive. If he can just be immortal,
Okay.
then our tanks probably just get rolled over by
All
it.
right.
They also have the anti-nade advantage, so if I can try and pick the Anna before she anti-nades, or
That's actually a really good point. Okay. And then let's finish up the last three.
so Moira, Ryan, Zaya.
All right. So that's our order, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why it's that order is first, it's usually threats. I spelled it wrong. Threats.
Threes. Sure.
Yes. Um, and that's like those are the people that are directly gonna affect you. So yes, Widow Genji, right?
Yeah.
But on the way in, if you don't see any of them, or if they aren't threatening you at current moment, it moves on to the next people, which is Anna and Moira, right? So you said we were worried about the Widow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they're walking in like this, can we stand so that the widow can't see us as well as we get to like do stuff on their team.
Okay, so you know where the mini is?
Which
Underneath
mini?
me, underneath where I am on the right hand side of the
Right
point.
here?
Yeah, in there. That you can peek down through the choke from that doorway.
This doorway?
Um,
Or this
no,
doorway?
yeah, that way on the left.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also quite hard for a widow to get a sight line onto that quickly.
Okay. I think there's a couple things that you're gonna find hard about it. One is the Reinhardt when he puts up shield, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to be able to get things past. So let's try to think about how we can get around this shield,
I can
but still
shoot
be
over it.
relatively safe.
I can shoot over it.
But we want
I
to
can shoot
lose sight
over
of
it
the widow,
or
right?
around it. Yeah, yeah. So I guess I could be really obnoxious, and I have seen this done before, where widows will stand. Say you're attacking,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're where the Moira is, if you were to be that Moira and just look immediately left,
So you want to come
and
here?
yeah, and you stand basically behind the stairs, right there. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's very obnoxious because healers like to go in for that little mini on the that's directly opposite it on the other side, and you just get a sight line for it directly into it.
I actually have a
And
little bit of a different position, but it's along the same lines, right? So what does this position do for you?
it gives you a very, very closed angle. It's also very safe. You have very low amounts of attention from the enemy team that no one looks there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So those are all good things about this spot. If you stand up here, you can accomplish all of the same things.
That's where the
What do
enemy
you think?
widow was standing when we were attacking.
Kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If we stand up here, right, does it accomplish most of the things, right? If we stand back
pretty
here,
much.
where can their widow scout from? Just hookshotting top, right?
Yeah.
We can see main. We can move forward and see the rest of the fight. If we want to scout the widow, we can come over here and try to look a little bit, right? We can look into the main a little bit. Is if they're playing a little bit slower, right?
Yeah.
But mainly, like, this is a really good position to stop pathing, right? Because they want to walk in. Against dive, it's a little bit different. You still need to stop pathing, but when they do jump in, you stop the people from here coming in, right?
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's a lot easier when they're playing something like this or something like that, which is, in my opinion, not that great. But the
You don't like it?
I don't like this, and we can talk a little bit more of that later if you would like. But but generally speaking, when they walk in, we want to be able to stop those people, right? With leaving minimal angles for us to look at also, because we can actually, and this back angle kind of does a lot of that. Because what you said, right? What did the widow do on attack when you hookshot it up?
She just heard me and clicked me.
Ah, there we go. Can we do the same?
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we are coming a little bit towards the end here.
That's okay.
So, is there anything in specific you want to go over? Because I know you said target priority and positioning, and I think we covered both of those.
We have definitely covered both of those. And I think the way that we've done it, I'm able to sort of, I want to say, extrapolate that knowledge and like apply it to different maps, not just Hanamura, because it's given me ways to think, okay, I need to not only think about how I can get good sightlines, but how could an enemy widow get good sightlines onto me? And how can I close those off so that I can stop pathing?
Okay. And I think those are good points. Is there anything else you want to ask or want to go over?
Yes. Briefly, do you think it is worthwhile shooting a Zaya bubble to break it and kill her?
So, everything in this game that you do has context, right? There's only like most of the things in this game that you consider like dumb or stupid, like are good in like very niche scenarios, right? Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So when you say, is it okay to shoot Zarya bubble? It's really hard for me to say yes or no, right? Because it depends, right?
So
it's
in
like
the situation where I was at the end of this fight, where it was like me, their Zaya, and their Ryan, and that was it on the objective.
let's just go speed up a little bit.
Because there's a lot of situations where I'm like, it's just the Zaya, but she uses bubble, and if I know that if I don't break the bubble, she might be able to get out.
Like, is it like when you hook up here? Or is it earlier?
After this. Just after. So I kill the Genji, and then I drop, and right as she's killing me, she uses bubble. Right there.
I don't think you can break that.
How much can it block?
Oh, it blocks 200 damage. 200.
How long does it last for?
2 seconds.
You can break it as Widow. Oh.
I don't think
Ooh.
so. It's gonna be
No,
close.
it doesn't have a critical hitbox. Sorry, I was thinking about the 300 damage critical hit. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't think you're breaking that thing.
Yeah, you'd have to be like a Roadhog or something, standing right in front of it.
Yeah. So in this situation, I think you're already dead when she starts beaming you. You already lost this when you were in her effective range, like we talked about last time, right?
Yeah, with McCree, and yeah.
Yeah.
I think I should have probably, a way I could have optimized this is I could have just died on the objective, forced them to use a little bit more time to cap it. Like,
okay.
Right at this moment here, just unscope jump on the objective quickly.
I'm
gonna die
agree
anyway.
with that.
I'm gonna die anyway. Just take the L.
Here, wait. I'll tell you the super like high level. If you're a god, you're gonna be able to pull it off play. So you're looking main here, right? And the second tick. So you kill the Genji, and right now there's actually no one that can hit you except the people coming back. So if you kill one more person coming back and then jump on point, and if you are like super nasty and you kill the Moira, right? There is actually a chance that if your team wasn't
kill the Moira.
Wasn't scared of nothing, then like, oh, you even kill Moira. But let's say we kill Ana and then Moira, like that would have been insane, right?
Yeah.
And there would have actually been a possibility of coming back. But yeah, that's just super optimal. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah. I think I could have pulled that off.
I think you could have too. Your aim's quite good. Now we just need to put you in the right places so you can use it, right?
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Yeah. Anytime, yeah?
Yeah. I'll